Welcome to another episode of the Carlito Monroe Show. I'm your host, Carlito Monroe. And before we get started here, got my information on the bottom of the screen. Social media information is all the same. Carlito Monroe Show. YouTube, like, share, subscribe. Trying to get as many subscribers as I can. So when I upload new content, you'll be the first to know. And hit the notification bell. When you hit the notification bell, as soon as it gets uploaded on YouTube, you'll be able to check it out. I tell stories, reaction videos, comment on entertainment news sometimes. Do just all kind of different things. That's why I don't call it necessarily a podcast, just a show, because it's just me and I'm just talking about different things. What I wanted to talk about today is I ran across this video, and I'll just have to let you guys check it out, but it just, I don't know, it just pissed me off just watching this. But I'm going to let this play if I can get it figured out without it messing up too much.
All rise. Judge Vanderbilt Court is now in session. Judge, this is case number JVB 1035, Smith case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. Okay, Ms. Smith, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, good morning. I come here today to try to get his child support raised.
Okay.
We have one child, and
Here's a squirrely looking.
I believe that he has some income that he's actually not reporting. We kind of try to make it work not too long ago, and when I was at his house, I found a bunch of pornographic movies.
What do you mean make it work?
We've been separated for a long time. Our son's 11.
I mean, what's wrong with having pornographic movies? Well, I think something wrong with it because who the hell's buying pornographic movies now? It's just go on a website, it's free, and 6-7 minutes of a video, that's all I need. So I would figure that most people, that's all they need on a porno. You don't need a whole movie to act as generally is terrible. So, yeah, I don't see what the big deal about that is, but judge apparently doesn't give a damn about that. She's asking about what you mean by making it work.
Okay. But we kind of got back together, and he has a bunch of like pornographic movies in his house.
I'm afraid you're going to stab yourself in the eye with that pen.
Sorry.
I just don't want you to do that.
He's the main character on the movies with all these different women, and he is saying that he's that I can't be mad at him. It's not cheating.
He's just filming his own videos
porn.
with these broads.
And some of them are in our bed. And I said, well, it doesn't work like that. You can't, just because you're filming.
Wait a minute, how is it our bed if she said they're trying to make it work, but then in that same sentence she says in his house? So if it's his house, how is it our bed? You know, apparently y'all not together for real. If he's got videos, he got videos. Jesus Christ. What does that got to do with child support?
Filming doesn't mean it's not cheating. Mm-hmm. I said, you have to be getting paid for it to actually be a porn star. And he said he was getting paid for them. And there's tons of them. So I feel like.
So
there's 2,000 videos. That's what a ton is.
And plus his business, I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's almost close to 100,000, give or take, like maybe 10 to 15.
Okay.
Well, dude,
So I
like
feel
that.
like I get a measly $600 a month from him. I feel like
So
something's
that's how
not
much your
right.
child support is
Currently.
set at right now?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good money.
We went
$600.
through mediation at the child support office.
And that's what they came up with. That's plenty.
But that was, you know, he's
How long ago was that?
He's 11, and I guess 10 years ago.
Oh yeah,
He was little.
that has been a while. You've been way overdue for a modification for a number of reasons.
Yeah,
So,
that figures. It's a
about his
woman judge.
income,
You're gonna side with the woman.
Is what she's saying
This is no
true?
surprise.
Does it include that?
Well, it's payment in one way or another.
Is a yes or a no?
No, ma'am, I'm not getting paid technically.
So that means you're lying.
So you're doing it for free? Well, you know what? Never mind. That's not my business. I'm sorry. That's not my business.
You want to know?
So your business, where you do make
She wants somebody
the
to
money,
make
she's
porns
talking about
with her. She ain't fooling me.
$100,000. Do you make $100,000?
Judge.
No, ma'am. I have
B.
85 to 90,000 on the high end on a good year.
Okay. All right. What is it that you do?
I'm a mechanic.
Mechanic. Okay. All right. So you said 90 on the high end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your Honor, is there any way that we could subpoena his financial records for the porn thing?
Well, you can. I'm not going to do a subpoena on anything like that. I don't want to see it. Yeah. You can do that though. Yeah. If it exists,
This
you can
show
do
is
that.
so dry.
But subpoenas aren't free. So I hope you know exactly what
I
it
think
is that
she's
you're looking
trying to
for.
be funny, maybe.
Well, there's so many of them, and he told me that he's getting paid for them, and there's like thousands, not hundreds,
Okay.
thousands.
That's how
of
you get out.
DVDs with him in there on
Well,
our bed.
Who the hell
I'll
has
tell
a
you
DVD
what,
player?
Once you find some sort of income, some paper trail that shows that, then if you were to bring it back in court, we could entertain it then. But as of today, unless you have some sort of proof that shows that he has income from that, and unless he tells me otherwise, I can't really go off of that. I can only go off of what he told me. And he said 90,000 on the high end. I think you're in pretty good shape. What do
Yeah.
you do for a living?
Right.
I don't work. I take care of our kid.
So you're a stay-at-home mom? Mm-hmm. And she's 11?
He is.
He is
yeah,
11?
uh-huh.
He goes to school?
He does.
So what do you do during the day?
Nothing.
You don't want to work?
Lazy,
No.
poor.
No,
So you're just living off of his child support?
I am. And we live with our mother.
And you're proud of that?
Well, we were living with him, and I was a stay-at-home mom. He made the income.
Okay.
But
And then that means you go get a fucking job, lady. This is what irritated me about when I watched this. She looked at it like, well, I stay with my mom as if, and she doesn't look like she's some spring chicken. So I know her mother's a lot older than her. So if her mother dies off, what happens then? She just stays in the house or whatever and lives off of $600 a month. You can be a homemaker and not have a job. And there's plenty of women that don't have a job. I work with a bunch of guys that their wives don't have jobs and they're quote unquote homemakers. But to me, my old man always told me, if the woman doesn't work, it's too much time on her hands. And what's the saying? A idle mind is the devil's playground. I've worked with guys that they're these wives that will stay home mothers mysteriously cheating on them. And, it's not a mystery to me. It's no surprise to me because they don't have anything else to do. How hard is it to keep a house clean once you really clean it thoroughly? Once your husband comes home and the kids come home, you cooking and you cleaning up after them and whatever. And once you cook and clean up after them, the next day is really nothing to do. You don't wash the dish. I mean, you probably wash some more clothes. You're not hand washing them in the washing machine. You just load them and putting detergent in there. So these women have so much time on their hands. It's an idle mind. And while they have an idle mind, what are they doing? They're watching soap operas and they seeing the excitement of married couples and the woman is messing around with the pool guy or messing around with the mailman and all these different things. And this stuff is not made up. This is stuff that happens in real life. And this is how it happens. With stuff like this, the guy's at working, whether he's a mechanic, whatever the hell he's doing, he's out working. The woman's at home calling herself being a homemaker. She throws some shit in the washing machine, throws some shit in the dryer. The dishes really shouldn't be there unless she'd have made breakfast or something. But let's say that she knocked those few little dishes out, which is next to nothing because most people got a dishwasher. You just rinse the shit out, put in the dishwasher, and it's doing the job. What are you doing with the rest of the day? Oh, I'm in a book club. Or, I'm watching TV. Or I have to keep the house clean. I'm vacuuming. That's all bullshit. That's just a reason for women not to do anything and have a bunch of free time to do some repugnant shit. That's what it comes down to. They have where they're able to do a bunch of stuff that's outside of their marriage. That's how that happens. My wife cannot work. It was one spell she didn't work for like a couple years, but she was getting her doctorate degree at that time. So I approved that her not working in so she could focus on getting her degree. But I mean, just to not work, that's just not gonna happen. Because my thing is like, well, if you ain't gonna work, I ain't gonna work. We gonna both be in the streets together. But I'm not gonna be working and you not working. You know what I mean? And you work it. If I was to lose my job, my wife was still working. I wouldn't sit around doing nothing. I'd go to McDonald's. I'd go to Taco Bell. Any of these fast food places. I mean, everybody's hiring now. Lowe's, wherever. I would go one of them places and I would work. Whether it's part-time, if I only can get part-time, then I would get 2 jobs. But I'm going to hustle. I'm going to get out there and get it. I'm not going to just sit here and do nothing. And, you know, and I expect the same thing of women. Women want equal rights. The equal right is you don't get to stay home and be a stay-at-home mother. You take your ass to work. Now, I can understand you just have a baby and the baby's little and you're at home. It's probably cheaper for you to be at home because daycare is extremely high. I get that. So if that's the case, get a job at a daycare where you're able to take care of other people's kids and take care of the baby, and your daycare will probably be free because you work there. So, I mean, it's just, it annoys the hell out of me when a woman doesn't have a job and she's married. And I hear these stories all the time with these different guys I work with. And then I've heard stories where those women had extramarital affairs, which sound nice, but they just fucking cheating. They're just out there fucking and cheating. That's what it come down to. So, yeah, man, that just irritates the hell out of me. And she's worried about his porn stuff and how much money he's making so she can get more money. And it's just easy I'm sure she's on some kind of government assistance and she's just staying with her mother. It's just not taking no accountability for shit. And it just annoys me.
I mean,
But you can work now, right?
I can, but
So it's no but.
Yeah,
But you can go
get
get
a fucking job.
right?
I could, but I'm not going to. My rent's free. My food is free. I mean, my mom's a homeowner. We don't have to pay nothing.
Okay. You know, I'm not going to go there with you today because you can, obviously, you're able to work.
You're not going to go there with her because you are a woman yourself and you're siding with her and you're thinking like, well, she's able to work, but I'm not going to just put her business out there because everybody knows when a woman doesn't work. And this is just a lazy broad here. She's just lazy. You know, oh, well, my mother's a homeowner. I don't have to this is free. That's free. So, you know, I take care of our kid, but the kid's 11 years old. How much taking care of an 11-year-old kid you need?
I'm able, but I
And
don't
you
want
should work, but
Yeah, you should
again,
work.
that has nothing to do with me today. What we're going to do is talk about the modification of these numbers, all right? So your
Of
income
course, she's going
has
to talk about
increased.
that. It's increased. She's going to raise his
It's
child
increased
support to
about almost $400.
to help give this broad more money. That's how that shit go. Child support shit is fucked up. I'm not on child support. I don't even have kids outside my marriage. So, I mean, I've heard so many stories and just seeing people go through it, man, it's just irritating as fuck.
Based on you saying that you receive about $90,000 on the high end, it
Yes,
brings
ma'am.
your gross to about $7,500, which your net is $5,465.22. That would bring, well, health insurance. Who covers health insurance?
I do.
Of course.
And
it
how
does.
much is that?
Of course,
It's
it does.
110 a month.
Okay, 110. So what I'm going to do is give you credit actually for the health insurance coverage for the child. So that was slightly
I can
bring your
work,
child
but I'm
support
not going
down.
to.
And
Down?
monthly, yes, slightly. It's still expensive. $1,093 a month is what he would pay in child support.
That's it.
That's it. Well, it would be more if you get a job.
He would pay more if I got a job?
No, it would be more for the child if you got a job.
Your Honor,
Ma'am, no.
You don't
no,
understand.
No, you don't understand. I'm basing his child support increase off of what it is that he makes.
It's-
Nothing
he
more.
makes
They forget. It's like these women get so used to the man's money from what they're getting. It's just that they look at it as like it's their money. They don't look at it like for the child. It doesn't take a whole lot of money to take care of a child, for the child to eat 3 meals a day, the child to have the bare minimum clothes. You know, the child don't have to have clothes that are name brand, but it's just what people want. A want is that should be something the father decides he wants to pay. It should actually be a set amount. It should be the bare minimum to take care of a child. Just an average minimum, what it takes to take care of a child as far as financial wear. It wouldn't be any room for a woman to try to say, well, I'm going to pay my car note. I work with a guy. This is a story. I worked with a guy, it was years ago. He don't even work there now. But he was working there, and we make pretty good money. He was making good money. And his one of his baby mamas found out he got a job, got a higher paying job. So she went back and got a, whatever they just called it, where they up it or just a modification. Got a modification on it. Got a modification on his child support. And his child support went up where he was paying like $1,600 a month, something like that. Because he initially was paying like $300 a month. He's paying like $1,600 and some. I don't remember the exact number. It's $1,600 some a month for one child. She started getting that child support. Next thing you know, she goes and buys a used Mercedes. Now, and I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it was like a Mercedes that was like maybe 3 years old. It was fairly new. But she was able to pay the car note of that Mercedes off of that child support that he was making now. So he was pissed off about it. He's like, man, this broad done went and got a Mercedes. I can't even afford a Mercedes. Now I got this coming out of my check. And, I remember at the time I was laughing. I was like, well, that's the game. You went and had babies outside of your marriage, and now you got to pay that. So, yeah, he got hit for that. I mean, I just thought that was a lot of money. But she went and got a Mercedes. That ain't for the baby. She done took up probably the majority of that child support to pay for her car. And if she had insurance, you got to pay insurance on it. So most of the car was paying a car note. It had nothing to do with that kid.
It's more
Nothing
than that.
until you bring me something in here to show me that. That's what I'm going to base it off of. And again, you can work.
Can
so
I,
I
yeah, you
can
can
I
work.
say something?
No, ma'am. Only thing I need you to say is, Miss Vonda B, I'm going to go find me a job.
B.
That's all I want to hear. If it's anything else other than that, I'm not entertaining it. Pertaining to what I just said,
I need to look her up. I really don't believe she's a judge.
I will go look for a job. But please,
Great.
Please hear me out on one thing.
What is it? Make it quick.
I promise you I'll make it quick. Let's say that you have a battery-operated vibrator.
You know what?
What the hell that got to do with
there.
anything?
We're done. Is there anything further
You're
for
about
you,
to
sir?
climax.
Okay.
What the
Well,
hell?
The
ma'am-
batteries go out.
Okay, thanks.
That's him.
Okay, great. Let me tell you what we're going to
What
do.
does that have to
You
do
all
with
are done,
anything?
and if there's nothing further,
Why is that the first response with a woman when they're not getting along with the guy? They want to say, "Oh, his sex is not good," or his schlong is too small. It's always the same thing. But meanwhile, you was married to him for so many years, or you were dating so many years. You done had multiple kids with him for so many years, but now he just trash in the bed. Now he's just trash. He's always been trash. I just dealt with it. What the fuck? It's just ridiculous.
You all are dismissed. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty much the video. That just irritates the hell out of me. This whole child support thing, and I don't have to go through it, and I don't plan on ever going through nothing like that. But I'll say this: I don't know what could be done about it. I think the government should step in on this child support, figure out what's the bare minimum that one would have to pay per child. Like, what is the bare minimum it takes to take care of a child? Whether it be, okay, you're figuring out, 3 meals a day, this count this month, and then the child support should be subtracted from whether you're getting government assistance like the WIC and if you're on aid and all that stuff. But I don't think they do food stamps now. They have like a card or something they load up. I think they need to kind of mandate that kind of stuff more, where it's a bare minimum. So when a guy has a set amount, so he's like, okay, this is a set amount per month to take care of a kid is $1,000 or it's $800. And then if the parents, and then once they get that money should be on some kind of card that it shouldn't be money that you just receive and you can take cash off the card. It should be a card and you only can use the card. So whatever you're using it for could be watched. So when you buy something, they say, okay, you done bought something from Walmart. And okay, here's the items that you bought from Walmart. Oh, and adult tights, house shoes. Wait a minute, these are all clothes and stuff for you. You bought the child a few little things, but this itemized thing here, you've bought a bunch of stuff for yourself. So we subtracting all of that. So next month you're gonna get less child support, and you're gonna keep getting less and less. Every time you spend on yourself, you'll get less. I mean, I think that's how it should be, but that's just a start. And But then again, it probably takes a lot to do that, and I don't think the government cares about it. I don't think the government cares how it goes. I don't think the government cares if they misappropriate the money or not. I think they just won't. They just don't want to be bothered with it. I think they like the idea of it holding men back and restricting their income some kind of way. But yeah, that's pretty much. I watched that, and it didn't surprise me how this woman was just like, oh well, I don't want to work, and I'm not going to. And the judge was like, oh, I'm not gonna go in that right now because we're here for child support. But you didn't go into it. But, you know, if it had been somebody like a male Judge Mathis, somebody, they'd have got on their head like, hey, you know, you should work. You know, even if you can't make the person work, at least get on their head and let them know they should be working. You know, but I don't know. I'm just going on a rant, but I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this show up. It's your boy Carlito Monroe. Peace.